morning, guys. Low energy. I'm not gonna do that thing where I make you guys yell. How's your morning going? Wait. So I was supposed to be here at 9 and start this talk at 9, but life happens. I have work and we haven't heard anything since the meeting. And at my job on Fridays is cut day. So you either find out if you're staying or fired. Or if your program is that's why I'm late. But I'm safe, so
Yay!
thank you guys. Responsibility. It was so fun. You'll be up at 7 a.m. freaking out if you're gonna be fired the next day or not. So please, guys, enjoy your life. Life is not that fun up here. So let's get started with our talk. And the reason why I'm here, because like I said, I was supposed to be at work. I was supposed to come to the youth convention at all, but Father Enoch asked me to come and speak to you guys. I'm not a professional speaker. I just work in finance. I analyze things for a living, but I'm very good at conveying messages to people sometimes. And he feels as if I can convey a certain message that you guys may take and live with. That could not be true. I don't know. He just told me to be up here. So I'm here now. And I'm here to see if I can give you guys some hope, some empowerment, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I've been talking to some of you, like just passing by, and I've realized that all of us are here for different reasons. Some of you guys are here because you want to be. Some of you guys are here because your parents forced you to be. Some of you guys are here because you want to be with your friends. Whatever the reason is, you're here in this room. And it doesn't matter the reason, because if you're at a church event, my honest opinion and my honest point that I want to give to you is, it doesn't matter what the reason is, it's always because of God. So if anybody ever asks you anything church related, the answer is always because of God. That's rule number one. So, why are you guys here? Why? Why? I feel like I see the words every time, but you can't keep using because of God. You have to use, other words, other statements to really prove the point. So the first point is you're here because of God, but you're really here because of your faith. The next question is, what is faith? Does anybody know what faith is? I just hear a little. Does anybody want to give me an answer? He raised his hand, so I'm going to pick him. Ooh, I like that answer. Everybody else have another answer? Yes, sir.
Faith, from a biblical standpoint, is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Anybody know how faith is described in the Bible? I feel you keep saying it. You're not raising your hand. Just want to talk. The substance of things hoped for. Wow, the substance of things hoped for. God, just like we have a little definition. And if you have an answer, I see you raise your hand. Believing without, somebody already kind of said that. All these answers are right, but her answer had hope in it. And not to be nitpicky, the whole point is to empower you guys and to really change how you see events that happen at church. the Mass itself, the things before and after. All of this is because we believe that God is present. We believe in certain things because of our faith. And the thing about faith is you just have to have a little bit of it. You just have to believe in God just a little bit. And that's just the first step. Because after the faith, after the mustard seed worth of faith, where do you go then? Do you know? So nobody knows where you go after your faith? Huh? No, hope is last, actually.
Love?
Love? Interesting.
Church. Church.
You go to church? That is true. I'm not giving you guys like a trick question or anything. I just have an answer that I'm looking for, and you guys haven't said it. The next step is purpose. Wow. That took you off guard. So what do you think that means? Yeah. Okay, I like that. Anybody else have another definition of purpose?
What do you think of purpose?
Can you repeat what you said a little bit louder?
That you should have an aim or a goal for something purposeful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else? That's the part too. Well, I'm just going to give you guys the answer. Purpose is next because it's the reason why you're alive.
I'm already dressed.
Why are you guys here? Why are you guys here? Because of God. I told you, it's really an easy answer. You guys are here because of God. God made all of you intentionally. None of you guys are here for no reason. There is a specific reason why God has you on this earth. And you're supposed to find your purpose. And when you're young, it may feel like you're just living life and going through experiences. And sometimes you're just chilling. Sometimes you're just floating. Sometimes you're just moving without thought. But you're here because of God. And God has you on this earth for a reason and for a purpose. And one of the things that they want you to leave here with is if you don't have a sense of purpose, do you know where you can look for it? Do you know how you can search for your purpose on this earth? Do any of you know your purpose? I'm not talking about any of the people who are a little bit older. I'm talking about your own. So you guys have any hint of what your purpose may be? Speak! Don't be shy. I can't hear you.
To go to heaven is the eternal goal, but like my purpose on earth, I'm the opposite person. I think to just be happy and live life. I don't know.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
Serve the Lord.
That's a good answer too. These are all my list. So keep going. Do you guys have any answers? Okay, so you guys, when you leave here, you guys aren't going to try and go to school, look for jobs, look for anything outside of church. You may not have any other purpose. What about your passions? Yes. You can have a purpose of being a light for others. So what does that look like? In what way?
Making sure they have everything that they need, making sure that they're okay. Also, praying for them.
That's a good one. Anybody have any other ways to bring light on someone's life or purpose? You can answer still. You can answer still.
Our purpose on earth, Our purpose on earth is to know God, love Him, and serve Him.
Okay, that sounds very general though. What's your specific purpose?
To serve God.
I'm aware. In what way?
Loving your neighbor, going to church, reading your word,
Mm-hmm.
all of it.
I agree with you. That's all right. But everybody else can do that. What's your specific purpose anyway? What are out with was that God made everybody for a specific reason, and he was intentional about making you. So one thing that you may want to leave here with is you may not know what your purpose on earth is right now. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I don't know either. But I know I'm here for a reason, because it says it. It says in the Bible. If any of you have read Genesis with them, I'm positive you guys have. It shows you how much time and effort God put into making earth. God put into separating light from dark, water from earth, making the mammals, creatures, and you. Everything in this ecosystem was made for a reason. Everything connects. So your purpose is all those things that you said about serving God and all of that, but all of you have specific purposes in life. And the way to make life easier is to find what your purpose is here. Because life is easier when you know what your purpose is and you're not just wondering. But it's not easy. Like I said, I still don't know if I have figured out what my full purpose is yet, but one way that helps me is by making goals. Spiritual goals, physical goals, financial goals, mental goals, all types of goals. Because if you don't have anything to reach to, you're not gonna have anything to work towards. So, do you guys have any goals? So none of you guys have any goals.
To be rich.
So what's your purpose? What is your purpose? See? Yes, you can give me an example if you want. I agree. Anybody else? What are your goals?
And I think my goal for the next 4 years is to be in the PhD program within the next 4 years.
I didn't go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I said my goal for the next 4 years is to be in the PhD program within the next 4 years.
That's a great goal. Anybody have any other goals?
Find a new job.
Find a new job. To accomplish what program? The CNA program. We need more people to save lives, so please continue on that track. Some goals can be superficial as well, by the way. You can just yell at this point.
To be a nurse.
To be a nurse? I like that goal. Do you guys have any spiritual goals?
I started a challenge for myself to read the entire Bible in a year. Right now, I'm in the book of Ecclesiastes. 202 things. 28.
We all have the same mark.
To find open God, to find his universe.
Ooh, you have great answers. Anybody else? None of you guys have any superficial goals either? I know Pamela told me that he wants to learn how to, be better at basketball. That is a goal. What's your goal, speak up? You can't raise your hand and then not have anything to say now. You want to be good at soccer? I like that for you. Do you have any other goals? Just soccer. I like that for you. Yes.
My goals right now is to have a healthy body and basically be healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Are we the same person? Wow.
I got 2 things to say. 1, I want to make money, and 2, I want to be a better person when it comes to praying.
Those are on my list too.
You want to make money, let's learn how to count.
You guys want to talk about it?
Nobody loves me. Doesn't have any goals or aspirations or purpose or passion. Megan, I want to have a lot of text. I want to be a lawyer.
Like with God, I don't want to be like a lukewarm Christian.
No one's texting.
I just want
It's
to
Emma.
stop everything that's unnecessary and follow Christ.
That's a good goal. Anybody else? So now that, okay, yeah, we'll get them out of the way too.
So my goal is to continue expressing myself with my art, writing, and I want to get better at basketball and volleyball, and I want to get into the nursing program. So when I'm going to school and everything, I want to get my own house, get a small space for my art. So I cook and I bake, so I want to I don't know. I don't want to get professional, but I want to get my own space to express all my passions. Yeah. Like in the end, I'm
Not even done, guys. Not even done.
and with that, I don't want a relationship with God distant. I always want to be close to Him, no matter wherever I go. For Him to be always with me. And
So, one key word that I took away from what she said was passions. One way to find your purpose is to align them with your goals and your passions. If your goals and your passions align, most of the time that may be where your purpose is. For me, like I told you, I work in finance, but I'm also a personal trainer, like on the side, because like him, I also want to make more money. And sometimes just doing your day job is not enough. So one thing that I struggle with is that how am I supposed to live that through God? You know, like how does my passion really align with my faith? So I started trying to take some steps to do that, but that's my business. But I'll share if you guys ask nicely and if you guys. I can't hear you. You want me to share? Okay. So, I work in finance. So one way that I can align that with my faith is that I give a lot of money to the church. I donate a lot of money to charitable institutions. I give to the homeless, all that. But I'm also on the finance committee at church, which means whenever money comes in, me and the finance committee decide, or we update the church on what we plan to do with the money. When we talk to the elected officials or father, whichever one it is, the finance committee handles that. And I'm also running a program at my church right now for the boys that teaches them how to make money in America, because one thing that I feel like you guys don't realize is the thing that separates you from your parents is that you are Black in America. And whatever holds you back might not have held them back. Your parents may have not have dealt with racism in the way that you may have to deal with racism. Your parents may have not dealt with being dark in a country where they promote being light as the better or as more. If you look at all of the stats on money, on wealth, on equity and everything, Black people are always last. And sadly, Black women are always last. But when it comes to testing and school, they're number one in graduation. So these are some of the things that you may have to deal with in your life that your parents may not have to deal with. And I try to help these boys to navigate that, because at any point you could just get stopped by the cops in America. And it could be over for you, literally, or you could end up in jail. But have the resources, a lot of times you can make it out. So that's how I try to help the boys to better their lives and live in the purpose I think God is trying to push me. So that's my example, and that's how I try to do it. Is it perfect? No. Am I still trying to like critique it and make it better for the boys so that they learn more? Yeah. Am I trying to like figure out how I can push it towards the girls where I can give them an example that's not me, because I don't know what it feels like to be a black woman in America, and I never will. So, yeah, that's how I try to align my purpose and my passions with my faith. You got it, Paul. I didn't want to share, but the next thing after that, after you find, or you try to find your purpose by aligning your goals with what's next. That's the theme, what's next? That's what you guys answer. Good answer. Yeah. Once you have your goals, what do you do? Good thing you're not them. Yes, you do, but that's not the answer. That's later on. Steps? That's a good answer, not complete. You? Yeah.
I have a planner that I use, and then, like say, I want to work physically on myself. I write down like today I want to like do legs. So like when I'm like from like after work and everything, I'm like, okay, so do I really want to do this? So like I push myself, like the discipline and like the commitment to achieve like my goal basically.
Okay, so after your goal is action. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in a different way that will make sense to you guys. After you make your goals, you now have to live. You have to live out your goals. You have to live out your purpose. You have to live out your faith. And what does that look like? Sometimes it can be fun. You're at youth convention. You're here with some of your friends. Enjoy yourself. Live. Life is very, very short. One thing an educator told me when I was in middle school, my first day in homeroom, was that take care of your community, because when you guys have your 10-year reunion, not everybody will be there. We had our 10-year reunion not too long ago. Many of us were not there because of many reasons, but I remember when she said that, it really hit me hard, because she was very young. I think she was younger than me now, and she was telling me to live. So that's one thing I want to give you guys, is to live. Enjoy life and have fun. But like I said, you're not just here to wander, you have a purpose. So live in your purpose and live in your faith. And how you do that is by having your goals and taking actionable steps with your goals. Does anybody have an example of a way you can live your goal or your purpose? You don't have any answers this time? You want to apply for jobs? Is that what you're doing? Anybody? I like it. That means I can move on, right? No. One way you can live is to build new friendships and network. That's what Father has been saying. Make new friends. Literally build your community, because whatever goals that you have, you can never reach them alone. I promise you that. No matter how smart, no matter how strong you are, you can never live out your goals on your own. You need support, you need community, you need guidance, you need mentorship, and you need faith. You need God. You need all these things to live out your goals. So now that we're at like step 5 in some of these things, these are actionable steps that you can now take, but it's up to you once you leave here. Because if I'm on this stage and I'm just talking to you guys about some things that I may have seen or I read it's not because that was just it. It's because I took the next step. I went out and lived life, and I experienced it. And that's the only way you can get to your goals is by actionable steps. Don't do nothing. And what I mean by that is, don't do nothing. Like, the action of doing nothing is an action. You're cognitively deciding to not do anything today. So how does that get you closer to your purpose? How does that get you closer to your goals? How does that get you closer to God? That doesn't mean you have to wake up every day like a Terminator and program yourself to do stuff, but the non-action can get really invasive, and you can form habits of doing nothing because it's a choice. So go out and live your life. Whatever way that may mean to you, how you're getting it from me, do it. Just do it in a way where you know it's right. Life is very short. I'll just leave it with that. So after you live, what's after that? And it's not death. Anybody guess? Which stumped? Good. Next is to find meaning in life. Why are you here? Because of God. Well, why does God want you here? Why does God want you sitting in front of me right now while I'm talking? Because like I said, I wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to be at work. But I was asked to speak to you guys. And through my life, what I've realized is the thing that I've been praying for the most is also the thing that tempts me the most. So after I speak, I think on itinerary it's confessions, right? Yeah, that's a very important part of your faith. And when I say the thing that I've been praying for is the thing that tempts me the most, and I can't leave it open-ended because then the whole point of me saying live for meaning is useless. So I'll give you an example. I give you real life demonstration. So like him, one of my goals is to make more money. Not because I'm greedy or I'm selfish, but it's because I work in finance and I've seen what money does for people. I've seen what money can do for families. I've seen how money can change things, but I've also seen how money can change people. I've also seen how money can drive people crazy. And my whole life, I've been praying for more money. I've been praying for more success, more affluence, more everything. And I still continue to do that. But the only thing that can pull me away from God sometimes is money. The only time I'll miss church is because of work. The only time I'll be late to speak to people is because of work, or it's because of some prior engagement where I can make money. And living my life, every time I pray for more money, God, in one way, shape, or form, has put me closer to money. But one thing I had to ask myself is this what God wants from me? Because now that I'm older, I'm reflecting. A lot of those times, I shouldn't have been some of the places that I was in. One example is that when I was in school, when I was in college, I lived in an apartment, and some of the kids, well, not some of the kids, a lot of the people in that apartment I knew. Some of them came from my hometown. I played ball with some of them. And if you played sports, you know that some of the people that you come across, they don't come from the same background as you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is some of them were selling drugs and scamming upstairs, and I was downstairs studying. That's what was happening. I'm not gonna lie. And they were committing crimes while I was trying to study to figure out how I can make more money. I was studying about how I can, invest in this crypto coin, how I can flip it later and do all this stuff, while they would just log onto their laptop. They can print out money if they want, basically. The drug dealers are coming in, they're flashing everything. Everything looks nice. But one thing God never gave me was envy. So I was never envious of them, of what they had. But I wanted it. When they're wearing all the nice stuff and getting all the attention and you're working hard every day, it's really hard to wake up, to go visit them, and you see a whole bunch of money on the table. And then the next day you come in and you're like, oh, we got robbed. They stole 100K from us. And I'm like, ah. So if I took that money yesterday, would they have noticed? I feel you, right? But those are the thoughts that go through your head. But that's not the money God wants from me. And I know the money that they have is very small in comparison to the money that God has planned for me. Another example is that I work in the finance committee at church, so whenever the collection comes, the money comes straight to me. Before we break it up and divvy it up to wherever it goes, like I always touch it first after people put in their money and their donations and whatnot. And the thought has never crossed my mind to take it because I know that money's not mine and I've never been tested that way. But what if me being around the money's been a test my whole life? But I know that's what my devil looks like because I know that it's what keeps me away from church sometimes. Money and the pursuit of it. And especially being in America where they make it seem like the dollar is higher than God, but it's not. I've seen rich people lose it all in one day. I've seen rich people kill themselves. I've seen rich people do so many things that I assumed that money would fix at a young age. But being in those situations, especially during the pandemic, it changed a lot for me. And now I know that my purpose may be around money, but what tempts me also may be the money as well. So how do I, in my Christian life, how do I navigate that? And how do I align that with, I want more money to, let's say, help the church, help the youth, do all this. But if I go through it in a legal means, what's going to be the final outcome? I don't know. But that's part of life, and that's part of figuring out what the meaning of all this is. Because when I was 18, I was looking at all the racks on the table when they were doing all this illegal stuff. It coming from a bad source of them stealing it never really crossed my mind. It was just, how can I get me some money without doing what they were doing? And now that I'm older, the question was, why wasn't I praying for them? And it was because they had money, and I was praying for money. So why would I pray for you if you have the things that I want? But now that I'm older, I'm like, it was the devil talking to them the whole time. It was just pulling them away. And it's just very, very tempting out there. And there's a lot of things that you may need to figure out the meaning of, especially when times are hard. That's when you have to draw back to your faith and your purpose and your goals and living, because that's the only way you're able to lead. I hope my point was conveyed to you guys clearly, because I'm gonna move on now. Oh no, I still have more. Oh, I still have more. Oh, I have more. Trust me. So after living and after me and after trying to figure out what the meaning of life is, what do you think is next? Huh? Reflecting? I like that, yes. But that's still with me.
Where are you going?
Because once you find the meaning, that's not the end of what that goal is for you. What does it mean for you? If you guys don't know, you guys just tell me the answer. I'm not tough. So the next one is sacrifice. And one way you sacrifice is through service. Because you're not going to get what you want out of life without sacrificing. It's said repeatedly in the Bible. The priests and the pastors and everybody that's always preached has stated that forever and ever. So I'm stating it to you guys. You have to sacrifice. This morning, I didn't know if I was going to have a job or not, just because that's what Friday looks like at my job. But I still have to leave and come here and talk to you guys, because it's my service. If I'm praying for more money and I'm not talking to you guys about money or talking to you guys about certain things, how do I think God's a blessing? What am I doing? That's why the don't do anything or don't do nothing was a statement that said on purpose. Do something, especially for your church, your community, and yourself. If you don't have self-service, you're not going to get far. If you don't serve your community, they're not going to help you. And if they don't help you, you're not going to reach your goals, you're not going to reach your purpose, yada, yada, yada. You know how it goes. So, what are some ways that you think you sacrifice for God?
How do you sacrifice for God?
It's real quiet.
How do you sacrifice for God?
What are some ways you think you sacrifice for God? Or you serve God? Whichever way you want to look at it. Fasting? Yeah.
How do you guys?
Ushering? Yep. Youth choir? Yep. But you can't have any answers. Yes? Youth leader? Okay. Anybody else? Yes. Praying at midnight?
Yeah.
Being here instead of work. Being here instead of work.
Absolutely. Oh, we're twins. Anybody else? Can you please speak up a little louder? Because I feel like what you're saying is important. You think that's a sacrifice? Why do you think that's a sacrifice? Can you give me an example of that? You have all the bigger words. Now I need some fruit.
I'm saying that, being a youth leader is all hard, but sometimes when you're dealing with kids in certain situations, you have to bite your tongue a little bit.
But if you're a youth leader, what's the youth saying about sacrifice? Like, how do you guys sacrifice for God? Huh? Of course! Maybe someone's gonna come with a mic, please. Your story sounds very important.
So you know how there's always somebody that could be less fortunate than you? Yeah. So there was one day I was walking back from church, right? I was going back to campus, right? And I met this guy. He was giving me his life story. He used to serve in the army, had kids, got stranded, and he needed some bucks to, make his way back to whatever he was doing. Now, usually, you know how like the African parents be like, oh, this guy is going to use this money for da 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 da. I'm like, the last $100 I had in my account, like from work study, was like I went to the ATM, took 100 from the my account. It was the last money I had in my account. I could use that for some chocolate, whatever. Gave all that to him. He broke down in front of me, started crying like, damn, everybody was passing me, like, black man to black man, the only one that stopped, see like how I was doing, and then stopped giving me the time of day. So I'm like, you know how like they say like it's kind of bad like to be like Christ-like, not like in the sense of to model you're like exactly like how
I get what you're trying to say.
exactly. So it's like I always feel like if like you're walking like what words I'm trying to say. You're walking every day, you should live to like fear God, right? So it's like anytime I see somebody, if I know I got a little change in my pocket, whether it's like 5 cents, 10 cents, or $1, like I always stop with my hand because they ask them to give it to them.
Okay, so no, keep the mic. If you take the mic, I can ask any question I want. So, do you think that may be a way God's asking you to like serve or sacrifice?
Of course.
So you think giving up money is gonna be enough?
Oh no. It's more than giving,
No, but I'm saying, what if the thing that you have to do is give up your money?
Not really.
I'm glad you asked. So what if you're going through life and you're very successful, but you find out that, like they say, money is the root of all evil, and it's causing you to sin, it's causing you to go down the wrong path, but you have lots of money to do lots of great things, and change the world with it. What if that's your purpose? What if that's your goal? What if that's your final sacrifice where you have to be poor and you have to give up all your money? No, I'm saying it's a different extreme from what you presented. So when it comes to that level of sacrifice, you think you'd be able to do it?
I think time will tell.
Oh wow, what a cop out. Like, like I'm honestly asking you, if God asked you right now, give up all your money, be poor. But he's not gonna tell you it because that's not how, it's just not how life works. It's gonna be in symbols and meanings and signs and all that nice stuff. Would you think you'd be able to interpret it? Do you think you'd be able to accept it?
You know, like how like God speaks through signs, like it's none of that, right?
I said that, yeah.
I feel like if I'm able to like discern that, like how events are leading a certain way, like
why can't you say yes?
Huh?
Why can't you say yes?
Because time will tell.
That's not yes. Because if you're able to sacrifice like that, why can't you do it at a greater level?
So
if you're able to sacrifice your last dollars, you said you only had $100 left in your account and you emptied it out. How come you can't empty it out when you have $100 million? I can't hear you. What did you say? I don't disagree with you. I'm only asking him. He did it in that way. What if time comes and it's a way where it's greater? Would you be able to? You don't have to say yes. I'm just saying, why aren't you saying yes? Because it's tougher, right? Yeah. That's how life is. Your sacrifices just get tougher and tougher. And the $100 may not be enough. But that's how life is. Sorry.
Good talk.
I feel you. You took the mic.
Alright, so I also feel like if you want to sacrifice or serve people, it depends on where you are. I'm in the healthcare field, and I feel like if you see a patient and you want to sacrifice or give like service to your patient, you don't see the person as just a human being, see the person as God, because God made the person in his own image, and God is love. So don't just be the nurse or the doctor to the person. Be more than the doctor, be more than the nurse to the person. If you gotta do more to help save life, and then that's being of service to them.
Amen. I have a question for you, though. I have a question for you. You say you work in healthcare, right? And your job is to save lives, essentially. So what if there's a fire and you have to be the last person out? Can you do that?
Wait.
I can ask any question I want, honey. I have the mic. I have the mic. You see how I have the mic? He has the mic. I know, but these are tough questions. This is what faith is about. You never know. That's why I'm asking him. Because he never knows. Would you think he'd be able to?
Wait, it depends. Like the situation, like the context. Like, do I have to save somebody, or like I have to just be the last person?
You have to make sure the hospital's empty.
I have to make sure that the hospital is empty.
Yeah, it's a fire.
Wait, like I have to be sincere right here.
Uh-huh.
If I have to die, how do I have to fulfill my purpose in life?
What if your purpose is to save lives? And the lives that in that building while it's on fire is your purpose. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I'm only asking a simple question. Yes or no?
Like, I'm not like an angel. So definitely, I'm gonna be afraid of death. And I gotta be selfish at that point.
I'm not saying he's wrong or right. I just want to know an answer. He said no. He said all that to say no. Thank you. I don't have much time left, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. The next things that I'm leaving you with is that you guys should read. The national literacy rate is going down dramatically, so please read. Whatever your passion is, read about it. Whatever your interests are, read about it. Whatever you think your purpose and your goals are, read about it. There's somebody somewhere at a certain time that thought the same thing that you did. I know you think it couldn't be possible, but trust me, it's a book about anything you want. And historically, the book that's made the most money and is sold the most is the Bible. So read it. You guys have apps now, since all of you are on your phone, that Bible apps. You just go on it and type what you think that you want to learn more about, and it will bring up scripture. So don't be lazy. Read about everything, learn about everything. And then the last thing I'll leave you with is the hope. I don't know what empowering agents of hope really means, but from what I think it is, and what I'm going to leave you with is that you guys are the hope that they're talking about. The hope is for the future. They're praying that a lot of you in this room will be the future leaders of this church in some way, shape, or form. So, your parents are praying for you. Your youth leaders are praying for you. Your priests, your fathers are praying for you. Pray for you. You are the hope. Just work hard yourself and keep God with you. It's literally the answer to anything anybody will ask you this weekend. So if anybody asks you any single question, all you have to do is just reverberate any of the things I say up here, and I guarantee you'll be fine. So I'm not gonna leave here on a great bar, on a great note. I just want you guys to just enjoy yourselves and take what I have to say with a grain of salt, or not, like, live by my words, don't live by my words. It doesn't matter to me, because the reason why you're in here is because of God. And He knows why you're here. In about a couple years, you guys will know why you were here and why you guys had to listen to me. I don't know now, I know the meaning of it, but I'm just living right now. So I hope you guys do too. Thanks.
Better than that. Let's give him a round of applause. It's awesome. Awesome.
Thank you for that amazing speech on finding your purpose. So before we get into the next program, there's going to be a QR code for a waiver we have to sign for our community service, because this year we are partnering with Greater New Haven for gardening, cleaning, and more, which I'm going to be doing later. There's also going to be rosary making for members of the community, but that's only going to be the turquoise and the pink team. So if you're not part of the turquoise or the pink team, you're going to be doing the gardening services. Also, make sure to wear sneakers or anything you don't mind getting dirty, and also drink water. But the QR code to sign the waiver is going to be up in a little bit. Okay, so the question right now is why is only the pink and the turquoise team doing it? Because the pink and the turquoise are only making the rosary. Everybody else is gonna go to their community service, and that's because there's too many of us. We all can't be on the farm, so the pink and the turquoise team are gonna stay in here when it's time, and we're gonna make the rosary.